My name's Mala.
I'm Caroline.
And we are totally thrilled to be here with you, so thank you for having us. This is Talent Catalyst. Please ignore the music. Okay. I'm a BYU Provo alumni, so please don't throw anything at me, okay? Like, let's start on a good note here, all right? My background is in advertising. I've had the opportunity of working on amazing global brands like IBM, Arby's, Subaru, Visa, Disney, to name a few. And I'm now the founder of Talent Catalyst. And we are a career performance company, right, committed to exactly what Spencer said, to connecting you to your highest potential in a way that you can use every day at school and at work. So in my role, I get to facilitate and consult to content like this for clients, like the World Bank, the FDA, lots of amazing people. And I also get to coach incredible individuals like yourselves. Caroline.
Hi guys, I'm Caroline. I graduated from BYU Idaho in 2005. Woo! Right after graduation, I went straight to JP Morgan for 5 years, and I was a trader on Wall Street. And then I went to Columbia and got my master's in org psych, and now I am at Citibank as an HR business partner, and I partner with Mala in all Talent Catalyst endeavors.
All right, guys, so, yeah, amazing. She's going to tell you her journey, and your mind's going to be blown. So here's what I need everyone to do. Please stand up. And we can get the house lights on. Please stand up. That'd be great. All right. I'm going to give you 1 minute total. I want you to turn to the person standing next to you, whoever that lovely individual is. 1 minute to answer this question. Both of you are going to answer it, and I'm going to give you a minute. Ready, set, go. Why did you pick the major you picked? 1 minute. Let's do it. All right. I didn't even have to tell you to sit down. Caroline, we're not in New York anymore. These people obey. They're very obedient. They're just like, it's amazing. It's amazing. Okay. All right. Raise your hand. How many of you said, you know, I picked my major because it's something I've always been pretty good at? Raise your hand. Okay. Some of you. Can we get the lights back on so I can see? Perfect. Okay. How many of you said, you know, I picked my major because my parents thought it was a good idea. They gave me advice. Maybe they're in this industry. Maybe they majored in it. Raise your hand if that came up for some of you. A few of you. You can raise it proud. All right. How many of you picked your major because you wanted a good job? Yeah? That helps, right? Income. It's a good thing. Okay. How many of you had absolutely no idea how to answer this question? Like at all? Okay. All right. You're in safe hands. Don't worry. So here's the next question. When you were talking and answering the question to your neighbor, how many of you were this passionate when you gave your answer? Yeah? You can turn the lights down now. Yeah, that passion. Anyone do the Jimmy dance? Yeah, absolutely. All right, so tonight we are here to clearly, right, talk about discovering your passion. Discovering your passion. So here's the next question. Why would Caroline and I come all the way from New York City to Rexburg, Idaho, in the middle of February, just saying, to talk about discovering your passion? We're crazy. We're totally crazy. Yeah, that's a good answer, right? Because we're really cool. Now, the simple answer, it's really simple. Guys, it's simple, and it's what Spencer said is, and I'll answer for myself, and Caroline will answer as well, is I really want you to love your lives. And a lot of people at work don't love their lives. They love their life in college, perhaps. They don't love their lives when they get into work. So I've been spending time researching why. Like, why don't they love their lives? Also, here's what I found about passion. The more time I've spent following my passion, the more meaning, purpose, and fulfillment I've found in my own life. And when those things are in play for me, I perform at much higher levels, and I'm happier overall. So that's the real simple answer. That's why we're here. And we actually believe that it's realistic, okay? So New York City, actually, let me go back here. New York City is a very passionate place. A lot of passionate people. Raise your hand if you've been to New York City. Yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad. Okay, a lot of you. Good, good, good. All right, so New York is really passionate, and following your passion is a journey, isn't it? It's a journey. And just like any journey, there are ups and downs to your journey, right? And so when we moved to New York, the biggest attraction, at least for myself, and I think Caroline would concur, is the passion. right? People love New York, and New Yorkers love to talk about it. So with the ups and downs, there are some downs, and here are some of the downs that we've dealt with on our journey. There are 8.4 million people in New York City. Every morning at about 8:30, 9 o'clock, all of us try to slam our bodies into subway cars and see who can make it to work on time. Interesting concept. We also have rats as neighbors in New York City. So rats are on our streets, rats are in our subways, and if you're having a really bad day, rats are in your apartment. We also have garbage that adorns our sidewalks. We're an old city. We have no alleyways like here in Rexburg. You're very organized. We don't have that. No, there's just garbage everywhere. So we don't know why, but that's what's going on. And also, we do have winter conditions like you do, but when you fall in New York City, you fall in front of hundreds of people, and that's always an interesting experience with a good story to explain on the way to work. On the upside of the journey, and the upside to being passionate, is that when you're passionate about what you do, kind of like Kyle was explaining, you can create some really amazing things and be involved in experiences that are kind of astonishing to even you. And here are some of the experiences that we have quite regularly in New York. Brooklyn Bridge, anybody? Brooklyn Bridge, thank you, thank you. Lady Liberty, of course. Central Park is our neighbor. Yankees fans? Okay. Bagels fans. That's what we thought. That's what we thought. Pizza fans? We're the best in the world at pizza, right? We've got the Met, if you're an art fan. My personal favorite is Broadway. We do what we can. We do what we can. And of course, the Empire State Building tonight, right? New York's so passionate, guys. That's why we live there. We absolutely love it. And we love Frank. We love Frank Sinatra. So there's ups and downs to following your journey when it comes to discovering your passion. And we're in New York to discover our passion. See, every day in New York City, we get to do the following things. Number one, we get a chance to live our dreams. And when people come to New York, they're not joking about that. They're dead serious. They really do believe that if they dream something up here and in here, then that it can become a reality. The second thing we get to do every day is be the best at what we do. We sure try to be the best at what we do. It's a competitive market. So if you don't bring your A game to New York and you're not super clear on what you want to create in the world, it's challenging. You don't last very long. Third thing we get to do is make it on a global stage. What's interesting about New York is that it's America's version of the world. So every day you're with people from different countries with different lenses that they view things through, and that makes it really exciting and very, very passionate. The fourth thing that we get to do when we follow our passion in New York is we get to do what we call live our callings. We get the opportunity to do that. So P2B, when I speak about callings, I'm using it as a synonym to passion. And it's unique to speak to a Latter-day Saint audience about this because we have a different affiliation for the word callings, don't we? Right? We hold callings at church. We're given callings. We're asked to follow our callings, right? But here at P2B, think about callings as passion. When you graduate, you're going to start to find people are sitting in one of three places in the workforce. And I'll walk you through this. Here's what I mean. So, how many of you have had a job before? Yeah, baby. Well, you've had jobs, right? And some of those jobs were awesome. Some of those jobs weren't so awesome. But a job is simply what you do. Yeah? I think we could agree on that. And then we go to college. And we go to college in hopes of having a degree in our hand by the end so that we can get one of these. A career, right? Thank you. I like that. Good support. Good support. So a career, right? And a career is simply something that you build over time. And the majority of people that you'll know in your lives, I would guess, have careers. The third position you'll find people in is what we call a calling. And this is something that's not talked about as much. And there's hundreds of reasons why. And you may have been thinking about this in your head, that little internal dialogue that goes through your head. You may have thought about it, but maybe not vocalized it. But a calling is simply something that you live. It's something that someone who you are, right? It's a way of being, and that's what we mean by calling. So when I was in my freshman year out of BYU, my first job was at the Penny Saver. I sold advertising space in the Penny Saver, which no longer exists in California, but it was a huge product in the Bay Area, a product. And I learned a couple things there. I learned that I'm good with people, or so I think. I learned that I do actually really enjoy sales. I learned that advertising can be really creative, and it's really fulfilling when a product based on the advertising actually sells and helps people in their lives. I thought that was really cool. And then, so that was influential in me choosing advertising as a career. So I moved to New York, and I worked at global agencies in New York for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years. And then I realized, do I want to do this for 60 to 70 hours a week for as long as I can see right now? And I was selling Subarus, I was selling Arby's. I made people, expanded the waistlines of some people, unfortunately. But I just thought to myself, is this something I really want to commit myself to? Because there's two places you land at the end of this track. One is you become a managing director at a global agency. And two is you own your own. And at that point, you guys, I had to press pause. Because I realized that I wasn't passionate enough about an industry that I happened to genuinely love. I really did. But I wasn't passionate enough to do either one of those things. I just didn't want to. So I went back to school. I studied leadership. I thought about an MBA, and I went, no, I really love people. I want to go study what motivates people, what derails people, how do we do this, what inspires people. I went back to school, I studied leadership, and when I was working at Apple, I realized, oh my word, Mala, your favorite brand to work on and work with is actually human beings. That's how you want to spend your time. And from there, I figured out, how can I spend my time doing that? And I realized my calling is that. I realized I'm the person that people come to tell me, to talk about their lives and talk about their careers and talk about what they want to do. And I thought, well, why can't I do that for a living in the market? Why can't I help people find their callings as my calling? Could that be a possibility? So we came to BYU, Idaho in April of last year, and we got in a lengthy conversation with one of your professors about this concept of a job, a career, and a calling. And as I was with her, she said something so powerful to me that I thought I would be remiss if I didn't share this quote with you. So take a look. She says, when we started our callings long before we got here. Look at our patriarchal blessings. Callings are what's deep down inside, our passion. Finding them is not a decision between right and wrong, but rather a decision between good, better, and best. See, when we're called to something, we always go back to it. It's simply a matter of how long it takes us to get there. So BYU, Idaho, we're here tonight to help you shorten your journey between the time you get that diploma and the time that you can say in the workplace, I'm living my calling. I love doing this. I love what I do. And here's why we're so passionate about it, is because there's two realities that you're going to face that we didn't necessarily learn about while we were in school. Here's the first reality, time. You will spend, whether you believe it or not, you will spend more time working than you will with your family, than you will with your friends, than you will at church, than you will at the temple, than you will listening to Justin Bieber, or than you will eating Chick-fil-A. Like, that's just how it's going to go. Take a look at some numbers up here. Average hours spent, broken down by day, week, month, and year. Difference in the numbers, yes? Take a look at them graphically. Right, with work being the light blue, school being the dark blue. If any of you are like Caroline and myself, we've been in the workforce for over 10 years, this was our reaction, no joke. Whoa. That's a lot of time. And then we started crunching the numbers even more. Guys, 4 times more at work. What? And I'm walking around New York City, going out on Friday night asking, hey guys, how's work? I haven't seen you in a couple years. Work's fine. It's okay. What? Right? This is your life. It's absolutely your life. Here's the second reality, happiness. Take a look at these numbers. United States employees, 2011 to 2015. When you ask someone who's working right now, how's work? Do you love your job? What this is telling us is only 31.5% of Americans right now will say, yes, I love what I do. Look at the generational breakdown. All 4 of these generations are in the workplace today. We're the millennials. We're the least engaged out of any generation in the workforce right now. So it doesn't mean we're not smart. It doesn't mean, actually, there are 83 million millennials in the United States today. We're the most educated, the most creative, the most innovative generation that's ever hit the workforce, but we're the least engaged. Because our generation really, really cares about passion. and purpose and meaning and fulfillment. And we, for the first time in history, have had the luxury of being able to choose and think about it, right? We really have been able to do that. So, you haven't all left yet, which means you're not totally terrified, so that's good. What we're saying is, we're here to tell you, not to bring you down, but to say good news. We really do believe that you've got this. There is a way to discover your passion and make that really realistic and to use it. The best way to understand following your passion and discovering it is through a journey. So we thought with our time here with you today, we'd take you through a journey, and our journey begins right here. Check that out. Yeah, that's right.
Kyle, you kind of stole my thunder. You used the iCard too. You guys, I had an iCard. I wonder if it still works. Probably not.
Isn't that adorable?
I'm going to walk you through my journey, and it all starts here at BYU, Idaho. Just like all of you, I was in those seats about 12 years ago, but let's not age me. So let's roll back to when I was a freshman, first semester. I'm sitting in Business 101. I'm with Brother Andrews, who I hope's in the room tonight, and he's talking about what it's going to look like when we graduate. And I'm a finance major, so in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to graduate. I'll probably have a job on the Wasatch Front. I'll be married, have a couple kids. I'll work part-time in finance. That's my freshman mind. Let's go to sophomore year. Sophomore year, I'm walking to class. I'm in Brother Holt's business law class, who's probably some of you guys have him. I'm walking to class, and I see a sign. It's like, trip to New York. The business department is taking a trip to New York. My eyes got huge. I got giddy. What you guys don't know is I was born in New York, in Staten Island, but I had never been back. So I'm like, oh, this is an opportunity. I can go to New York. You guys know what happened? 12 years happened, guys. I've never left. So let's talk about how I got there. So junior year happened, and the school rolled out a new program, which I hope all of you take advantage of. It's the internship expedition. They were pioneering it. First city was going to be New York City. So I signed up. I was accepted. I was excited. The big thing about this trip is one organization in particular promised the school that they would hire one intern from this group of students that went. So I went out there, had a great time. Now we're flying back. We're connecting through Chicago, and my phone rings. What is it? I got hired. I got the job. I got the internship. I was elated. So now it's April, I'm getting ready to go, and my new manager-to-be calls me, and he goes, hey, Caroline, your friend that was sitting next to you in the long, curly red hair, did she get an internship? And I said, no, and he's like, you know what, I'm going to hire you both. You guys, I got to go to New York all summer with my best friend from school. Like, how cool is that? It was pretty great. So now it's May, it's the first day on the job, we're sitting there talking to our manager, and he goes, I want to tell you guys a secret. And I'm like, what's that? And he's like, you know what, this isn't going to lead to a full-time job. I'm like, well, what do you mean? I got to New York. That was it. I thought that was what I was here for. And he's like, you're going to have to network all summer, internally and externally, to get a job. And I was like, oh, I thought I had made it. You guys, so what happened? I spent all summer networking like crazy. But you know what happened? I got that job at the end of the summer. Yeah. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about my time at JP Morgan. So I ended up being at JP Morgan for 5 years. So the first year and a half, I was in the back office kind of finance function, and it was okay. But guys, I was passionate about the markets. I sat in all of Brother Galbraith's class. I wanted to be in the markets. So what did I do? I started talking to my coworkers that were there, and in the summer, I had gotten one of my classmates hired, and so he was interning in the private bank. So we were having a discussion, and he's like, Caroline, I think that there's a position, but the kicker is, I think the admin knows about it. Do you guys know the importance of admin and the janitor staff in an organization? Let me just tell you. You guys, you need to befriend the admin. The admin know everything. They know all confidential information. They hear all conversations, and they see every single email. So if you become best friend with the admin, guess what? You move from the back office to the front office. You guys, I moved from the back office to a trophy position. Thank you, admin. That was pretty awesome. But then you know what happened, you guys? 2009 happened. I don't know if any of you have a memory of 2009 like I have it, but around April, around like March, early March, Lehman Brothers and Bear Stearns failed. So JP Morgan bought Bear Stearns for $10 a share. Well, you guys, it was trading for $133 a share 2 weeks prior. So in that moment, I realized, uh-oh, Wall Street's never going to be the same. Like, you could just tell there was a feeling in the air. All these people were out of work. Everyone was kind of nervous. Guys, 6 weeks later, it's the end of May. I just got back from a trip to the beach, and I have this impression come upon me as I wake up and I'm going to work. And it's like, Caroline, you're going to lose your job today. I'm like, no, I'm not. That is crazy. The analyst program's almost over. I need that bonus at the end of this summer. I'm going to grad school. I know I'll get into grad school. Again, the impression came across my mind. Caroline, you're going to lose your job today. I get to work. It's 10 a.m., checking my email. A note pops up from my boss. Caroline, meet me in the conference room at 10. Okay. Again, this same thought crosses my mind. At 11 o'clock, what do you guys think happened? Yep, lost my job. That's cool. So then I pack up my things. I go home, because that's what happens when you lose your job. You immediately leave the building. So now it's about 3 o'clock. I took the long way home. I go check the mail, and I see an envelope from BYU. Guys, it's one of those small envelopes. I open it up. Denied. Okay, so it's been a great day today. One of my highlights of my life, really. So I trying to figure out what to do. So a few days later, I go call my state president. Now I'm going to stop for a minute. Do you guys know the power of people that inspire you in your life and kind of help you along your way in your journey? Well, that's this guy. So I go talk to him. We're having a discussion, and I'm telling him about my terrible, rotten week I'm having here. And he's like, Caroline, did you finish that application to Columbia? And I'm like, no, why would I do that? BYU just denied me. Why would an Ivy League accept me? There's no way. He's like, go home and do it. And I said, okay. So now fast forward, it's the summer. I'm in Italy, kind of just taking it easy. I'm not employed. So I'm in Florence. I'm in one of those like internet cafes. You guys probably don't know what an internet cafe is, but before smartphones, we had to go to this cafe to check our email. So I'm in this cafe. I open up my email. What happens? You guys got into Columbia. Woo! So I studied organizational psychology at Columbia, and it was great. But then again, I needed another internship. But the problem was now it's 2010, and the economy is still kind of in the tanker, so no one was offering internships. So what did I do? I found this organization called Help International that's partnered with BYU, and they had this idea. They're like, you know what, Caroline, we want to send you where? India. Has anyone been to India? Has anyone been to India in the summertime, like the dead of the summer? You guys, let me just paint a picture about my experience in India. So we partnered with a microfinance organization, and they wanted us to go to this far-off state and work with these women who couldn't read or write. And they wanted us to teach them the power of money and the power of trade. But to get to this state, they wanted us to take a train. I'm like, cool, I love trains. He's like, Caroline, I want you to go in the middle of the day. I want you to see the countryside of India. And I thought, okay, great, I'll totally do that. We get on this train, you guys. Imagine a yellow school bus, those chairs, you know, the green, the high-end backs. That's what it was like when you approached it. But the key is there were Indians sitting in my seat. Now, an Excel spreadsheet was taped to my seat saying, Caroline Welty, sit here, but the Indian wasn't moving. And the trains in India, people don't stop. People don't sit, and then before they get off, the train doesn't stop. They just start jumping off the trains. So we're like approaching the station, I'm just seeing people bail. And I'm like, what is this country, yeah? So it's one of those experiences that you're like, in the moment, you're like kind of questioning your rational thought process, but in the end, you guys, it was a great experience, and I'm so glad I had it. You guys, so I finished at Columbia, and now I'm going through recruiting season. And now remember that I mentioned those people that inspire you? Well, we just got a new bishop in my ward, and it's like October, and it's the heat of recruiting season. So I go shake his hand, I'm meeting him, and he's like, hey, Caroline, I'm so-and-so, and I'm the global head of of HR at Citibank. And my eyes get huge. I'm all, networking opportunity. So I go talk to him, we're having a conversation. He's like, Caroline, do you have any offers yet? And I'm like, no. And he's like, well, you need to go get some offers. And once you have some offers, I'll put your hat in the ring. I'm like, I don't know what hat in the ring is, sir. Well, you guys, what the hat in the ring means? When the global head of a large organization, over 200,000 people, puts the hat in the ring, that means you're going to get a call tomorrow. My hat got put in the ring. The next day, guys, I had a job. So I've been at Citi now for 4 years, working as a global business partner, and I love my job. It's a great mix. It takes everything you see on this map and brings it all together. I get to talk to people all day long about their problems, and I get to help solve them. That's what HR business partners do. So I want to talk to you about these are 5 steps that I wish I knew when I was in your seat. And you'll see that I've kind of highlighted them. So the first one, look for curves and not straight lines. You guys, that map was curvy, right? Your journey's not going to be a straight line. It's going to take you in different directions. It's kind of like a quilt, like a patchwork quilt. Things are going to happen that you don't know. You got to be open to opportunities. Humility is going to win every time. Be humble, and that's what BYU preaches, BYU Idaho. So keep being humble. People are always watching you guys. You might think they're not. Bring your A game every day. And the last one, be mindful. You guys, be mindful. Watch what you're putting on social media. I'm in HR, guys. You know privacy settings too high, I will find it. So when you're posting your post, think about it. Would my potential employer care what I'm saying? Because guess what? I can pull up that post from when you were 13 years old. And the last one, your contribution matters, you guys. It's so awesome to be here. So give back to BYU Idaho. Be an ambassador. My goal every year is to help one of you get hired at whatever organization I am. So keep giving back. When you guys get out there, keep doing it.
Let's give it up for Caroline, right?
Look at the time.
Yeah, it's quite a journey. That's what a journey looks like. That's actually, it's very realistic, right? It's curvy. There aren't straight lines. People that come across as arrogant, especially millennials, we don't have the best rap, right? People come across as arrogant, they don't make it. Humility wins. The values that you're learning here at BYU Idaho, when you take those and bring them into the workforce, they will stand out, and you will be noticed for it. So back to the beginning, right? Picking a major. So our research shows us these are the top 3 reasons why people pick majors. And we invite you to consider a 4th, and it's really simple. It has everything to do with passion. Pick it because you love it. Pick it because you love it. And all 3 of these reasons are great, and the 4th one is great too, but don't rule it out. Right? I've seen students move to New York that are, they're moving forward in accounting. I'm thinking of one particular example, and they're good accountants, but every time I see this particular woman, and I think she's 25, 26, she just looks at me with that face and goes, Molly, I don't like accounting. And she's good at accounting, right? So you're just looking at her going, okay, so how can we create something that you love that you could make money in, right? Is that possible? And we say, yeah, it absolutely is. How many of you are passionate out there? Like you're passionate people? Yeah. That's what passion sounds like, right? The question for you is, are you passion fit? And when I think about this young woman, I go, I wonder where she'd fall on this grid. Because here's where you're going to find yourself. If you hate your job and hate everything you're doing, you won't be on this chart, okay? But if you like it or love it, you're going to be here, and you're going to be in one of 4 quadrants, and you're going to move around. You're going to run into an opportunity where you really like the people you work with and you like the work you do. Passion shows up in 2 ways. It shows up in the relationships that you have with people, and it shows up in the work that you do. It doesn't show up as your major. It doesn't show up as in the school that you went to, even though this school is amazing. It doesn't show up that way. People that love what they do, they can't stop talking about it, right? They talk about people, they talk about work. So you'll like your work and you'll like your people, and we call that #MyStep. It's a great stepping stone. Another place you'll find yourself is that you really love the people you work with, and you kind of like the work, right? And we call that #MyNetwork, because the odds of you continuing on those, like building those relationships and having them continue, go long past that actual job or that career. Another place you may find yourself is what we call #MyLearning. And this is where you actually, you like the people you work with, but you love the work you do. You absolutely love it. You can't get enough of it. And that's #MyLearning, because great learning experiences are usually born here. And the last quadrant, which is why we're here to talk to you and be with all of you, is #MyPassion. And I'm guessing that maybe not in school or maybe not in work, or maybe in both those places, you've had the experience where you love who you're with. You love them. You can't get enough of them, and you absolutely adore the work that you do. And when you meet somebody who's passionate, both those things are aligning. And we really believe it's possible. So tomorrow at the workshop, for example, we're going to break down this chart, and we're going to ask you, where are you in the job you have or the classes that you're taking? Where would you be? Are you at #MyStep? Are you at #MyLearning? They're all great, right? With the goal to be at #MyPassion. And we truly believe you can. We're going to skip that, but it's funny. Her face is amazing. We're just going to skip it. She's passionate, isn't she? I think she is. The point here is to be proactive. People that are passionate are very proactive about getting that. So, as we leave you this week, 4 challenges. You up for it? Maybe? Passion? 4 challenges, okay? First one, talk. If you've declared your major, talk to 2 people about what they're going to do when they're done, when they graduate. If you're trying to declare your major, go talk to 2 people that are in it. What are the professors like? What are the classes like? Okay, so that's the first challenge. Second challenge, explore. What are people doing out of your majors? What are the career paths that they're taking? Right? Also find 2 people to do that. Third one is experience. Caroline, how many internships did you have while you were at BYU Idaho?
3, Ma.
3. As an undergraduate, 3 internships. Now, maybe you have 3, maybe you have 4. We don't know how many you have, but we know that the quickest way to getting your theory to apply to the real world is to intern. That's when you'll be able to figure out, oh, #MyLearning or #MyNetwork or #MyPassion, which is the best news of all for you. Last thing to consider is take advantage of what's on campus. You have an academic discovery center, you have a career center, you have career assessments, you have so much sitting in Rexburg, Idaho, a lot more than you may when you leave and move to New York or Chicago or Utah or wherever you end up going. So take advantage of all of it. It's great. It's pretty amazing what you have. BYU Idaho, high fives. We believe you all can go do this. We believe that you can discover your passion. And we want to thank you with this photo. You're welcome. Thank you for having us. You guys go discover your passion. You're fabulous. Thank you. Thank you.